All right, y'all, this is Our Take. This is Mark, the moderator.
Avi the Process. Shout out to Sade.
The singer?
Sade, man.
Oh, snap. Okay.
Put some respect on that name, man.
Hey. Trust me. I like the singer. Okay, got you. But listen, let's have a social conversation and let's have a conversation about what's going on right now. Where do you sit at with the vaccine in this country and the fact of the non-vaxxers versus the vaxxers and where the country's going right now? What do you see going forward?
Wow. I mean, it's very funny. And Mark, you're gonna have to do some research on our chat that we got.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really talk about the vaccine that much with people. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I don't talk about the vaccine that much with people is because I feel like, everybody has to make their own educated, informed, scientific decision, right? Mm-hmm. If I could speak about it loosely on the surface, from a social media perspective, from a media perspective, one thing I dislike is uninformed people trying to inform people with misinformation. You know what I mean? Yeah, uninformed people trying to inform people with misinformation. I don't like that.
I got you.
My whole thing is like, if you're gonna say something that is, gonna sway people a particular way or is meant to, just make sure you're accurate. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna put out information, just make sure you're accurate. There's this idea, the non-vaxxers are saying, look, people still getting it, Listen, can we clear this up for once and for all? You can still get it if you're vaccinated. I don't understand what people's idea is. In my mind, I do agree that the CDC messed up. They messed up in their communication. Listen, I've been wearing my mask forever, vaccinated. I still wear my mask, okay? I'm not letting nobody, listen, before COVID, I might as well have a mask. I was washing my hands, things like that. So this is not a phenomenon to me. So I think that now you have the non-vaxxers out here, and some of it is a part of privilege. They feel like, you take away my privilege if I gotta wear a mask. Man, we trying to keep, it's real. Like, can we stop with this is not real? Wherever the numbers are, I know people say, well, the numbers are a little skewed. People dying from this. Period. Like, that's a fact, all right? People are getting sick and people have died from it. That's a fact. So when people go out there and say, look, this is like, I hear this idea, this is like the civil rights movement. Now they're not letting me in the store because I'm not vaccinated or whatever. This is a sickness. This is a pandemic. People have died from this. So whether or not you choose to get vaxxed or not, that's your business. Just protect everybody else around you. It's all I'm saying. You know what I mean?
But now what you're saying is, to me, is the same double talk. Protect everybody around you, but you have the freedom to not do what's needed to protect everybody around you.
No, what I'm saying is the protection. Let me just make sure I'm clear with this. The protection I said, you choose not to get vaccinated. All I'm saying is wear your mask.
But you see, okay. All right.
I know what angle you're about to come from, and I understand it. Go ahead, though.
Because the mask is only one step.
Right.
The mask is only one step, kid. The funny thing is, you can't touch anything. You can't. I mean, listen. It goes beyond that. But what I want to go back to is this here, and I truly get it. Like you said, the CDC messed up. The country messed up. Not making mandates with wearing a mask, number one. But then when the vaccine came out, not making the vaccine mandatory, giving people options, and you don't even have to prove, you didn't have to prove for a long time that right, you got the vaccine. But let's go one step further, which is deep for me. Like you said, you have people that keep shouting out, hold on, you got vaccinated people getting the virus. Well, yes, because the vaccine does not stop you from getting the virus. But we've been told
the vaccine doesn't stop you from getting the flu.
Listen, but for decades, this is the misnomer that we've carried as people, that if I get vaccinated, I don't have to worry about getting it because I've been vaccinated against it. Now we come into an era of, like you said, the flu shot doesn't stop you from getting the flu. It protects you against the flu, but it doesn't stop you from getting it. the COVID vaccine doesn't stop you from getting COVID. It just stops you from dying, being severely affected by the virus. But we are still in a place of not understanding that concept because of what we understood for so long. The problem is when people, and for me, here's the bug part. So many people talk about this country and freedoms. Well, 600,000 people have died. If 1%, let's just say, just like you said, yo, that number's skewed, it ain't right. Let's say 1% of 600,000 people. Let's say they're off by 1%. That's 6,000 people, kid. Still 6,000 people, kid. At the end of the day, none of us know 6,000 people. We can't go on our phone and pull up 6,000 people, kid. So it bugs me out because at the end of the day, and yes, you have the conspiracy theorists, you got this, you got that, a whole bunch of myriad of things. The one thing I don't understand, Avery, and help me out with this. People who was born into this world, in order to go to school, to get to where they are, had to be vaccinated. And not at any time, did you hear the person that got the polio vaccine, the chickenpox vaccine, this vaccine that they was running around talking about at a younger age. Oh, I mean, I'm messed up from it. I'm this and that from it. But you've been vaccinated your whole life. Right. We've put vaccines in our bodies from the time we were born. Right. Now all of a sudden, it's this whole play on the vaccine is so dangerous and it's going to kill us, and I'm so afraid. Let me
try to bring a little bit of balance to the conversation.
Okay. All right.
Because what I think their idea is, and listen, I know people that work in the pharmaceutical field, and their take is that, they believe in the vaccine, but I think the apprehension, a lot of it is the relative speed that the vaccine came out. So the idea is that in this speed, in this rate, that you let something come out, you mean to tell me that it's been fully tested, so I get that perspective, which is from a personal standpoint, I waited for a while because I wanted to see, what it looked like. I did my research, I did my due diligence, and there's a lot of people, and shout to True, because True always says, well, you gotta, build your immune system and da. I do that anyway. But there's people who have had, and which is a fact. So whereas we talk about Mark, how Cat said, you can still get sick but get the vaccine. Well, you can still have a good immune system and get sick. You can still be brolic and get cancer. You can still, so when people have that argument with me, my pushback is, at the end of the day, this engineering, this design, in my belief, my spiritual belief, is all in God's hands, B. You don't decide when it's your time to check out. You know what I'm saying? All I can do and all I've done is say, listen, this vaccine came out mighty quick, but my belief ain't in no vaccine. It's in my own self. It's within my own spiritualness, and it's in my own me being educated and educating myself on the vaccine. I think what it is a lot of people speak from privilege. A lot of people have access to too much information and misinformation. Listen, and I also understand the government. People don't trust the government. I totally understand. I respect that. But at the same token, you got to understand the science. Right? Remember, all those vaccines that came out prior, those that we have, the MMR, the measles, mumps, rubella, polio, all that stuff we weren't totally sure about that either, and we have a totally measles, mumps, rubella. When the last time you heard somebody getting the measles, Mark? When the last time you heard somebody getting rubella or the mumps? You don't, because guess what? Enough people got vaccinated over years. What happened is we pretty much got rid of said disease and of said viruses. Let me just say that, correct myself. We pretty much got a said virus, not saying that you can't get it. So the hope is that in years, mastering the vaccine, hoping that more people get vaccinated, we'll build a science immunity to it, or some type of immunity. It's still gonna be around for a while. Gonna be different variations to it. But to me, to continue this idea that I'm not gonna get it because I don't trust the government, or I'm not gonna get it because for whatever, and please stop telling me about the the Tuskegee experiment. Not the same thing, y'all. Please stop saying that. And I'm not even gonna go that.
Please, can we stop that?
Please, it's totally not the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's aggravated, man.
That was the first thing people jumped to. Oh, the Tuskegee, look, the Tuskegee, like they shot us with syphilis. Like, come on, stop, man. This is bar none not the same. Everybody that gets the vaccine looks different. You know what I'm saying? This is by far not the same. I don't agree with how the government has handled it. I will say that. But let's be smart about it. That's all I can ask.
And mind you, a lot of things what you said, Avery, is I can agree with, because you got to have faith. At the end of the day, though, when you look around, and I keep saying it, I have yet to find somebody that took the vaccine and has died from COVID. You know, I can look around and know that I know people that didn't take the vaccine and died from COVID. There's a difference right there. And for those, and my only thing is this: I'm not telling anybody what to do. That's right. Just like you said, that's your call. But at the same token, if you want to get to a place of having freedoms, vaccine is the way you get your freedoms and privilege. Because now you're starting to hear, you got to start proving that you got vaccinated now. That's out there. Restaurants, businesses, Google, Facebook. If you want to hold a job, I'm telling you right now, you can't walk in and apply for a job and get the job and you're not getting vaccinated. That's just what it's going to be.
Let's stop with the narrative about they're taking away your freedom. Yo, a privately run business has the right to choose what they want to do with their private business. If they
and it's legal. And it's legal.
Like, can y'all please stop it? This is not, at the end of the trip, if you choose not to get vaccinated, that's the consequence. Just like how you tell me I get vaccinated, I could have something wrong with me, that's my consequence. Same applies to you. Same rules apply. So let's just please have some balance with that.
But okay, so let me throw it out there. Do you think we're going to get to a place of balance where the non-vaxxers are going to cross over and wind up getting the vaccine, where things can get to this place called normal once again?
Hard question to answer. I don't know, man. I don't know. I know mostly red states. Mostly red states are saying, nah, we're not doing that. In New York, I think 52%, I think of New York has gotten the vaccine. I can't call it, but if I was to call it today, I'd say no.
So if like you said, privatized companies starts telling you can't go to the movies, you can't go into, because let me say this, let me go another way with it, because here's the interesting part. People are shouting out right now what companies cannot do, right? That's what you're hearing. Hold on, wait a minute. Is that legal? They can't do this, they can't do that. Okay. When the pandemic started last year, back in March, you were told you couldn't go in the stores. It was mandatory that you had to wear a mask. Right. The store wouldn't serve you, wouldn't let you in. Now it's mandatory. Let's say now that it becomes mandatory that you got to be vaccinated to go into this place of business.
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing. I'm sitting here like, hold on, what are you missing? If this business said you must wear a mask or we're not letting you in, then if they say you must have proof of vaccine, we're not letting you in, it's no difference.
Yeah, and you know what? You can't be mad that if you don't get vaccinated, you can't get in there. That's their choice.
No, hold on. But let me ask you this. What is your thoughts on somebody that don't want to get the vaccine, but feels like they should still have all of the privilege in the world?
You said it. Their privilege it supersedes their reality and their education. Educate yourself on it. No, this reality is, and I don't mean like, you don't have to hold a doctorate in vaccinations. Educate yourself on it properly. Please don't refer to somebody on Twitter shooting a video on TikTok. Just don't do that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't trust science, but I rely on science. I trust the spiritual nature. Let's be real, because that's what people are doing. Like, let's be real.
Memes, video clips. I'm like, come on, man. They're feeding into your frenzy. That's all they're doing.
My whole thing is just make an educated decision. If you're gonna get vaccinated, get vaccinated. If you're not, just know the consequences to it. Just like the consequences of getting vaccinated. Don't get it twisted. Those people that took the Johnson and Johnson brand before I took my vaccine, I looked it up and I was like, oh, Johnson and Johnson has this thing about it. I'm not taking Johnson and Johnson. That was me. You know what I'm saying? That was me making an educated, choice that I wanted to make. I'm not taking it. Not to say, and even with that, it still was a very small percent of women that they said I fell into this platform. And then I read something else with the children. These children, allegedly, some of them had like some motor skills that were jacked up and taken it because it wasn't tested, whatever the case was. All I can say is for myself, I made an educated choice to take the vaccination for the people around me and myself.
Before we end, and that's what I did the same thing. I wanted to protect the people around me. I want to be here. But another note, I just want to make this statement. There's a lot of people that keep saying about their immune system and strengthening their immune system. And it sounds very good. And I applaud you for doing that, eating healthy, whatever you call eating healthy is, that's up to you. But at the end of the day, Avery is a number guy. I'm a numbers guy also. To date, over 600,000 people have died. Over 600,000 people just in the USA. And I just want to throw this out there. If 1% of 600,000 people had strong immune systems and died, that's 6,000 people.
100%.
So if you're banking on having a strong immune system and still 6,000 people have died, I mean, I'm just using a number, 1%. Look at the risk that you're still putting yourself in. Still look at the risk you're putting your family in. Just think about that, man. That's all I gotta say, because it's easy to sit on it, but if something happens, man, yo.
And just to add, the vaccine boosts your immune system. It helps your immune system because the virus itself attacks your immune system. Just FYI, for people that don't really understand.
So we are praying for everyone either way, whatever your choice is, whatever you choose to do. But at the end of the day, we wanted to have this conversation. It is a interesting conversation. Just like sitting in a barbershop, this is the conversation that's being had. So we wanted to have it. So thank y'all for tuning in. This is Our Take, y'all. Peace.
Peace, y'all. Stay safe.